everybody, and welcome back to A Stable Life. My name is Joel. Thank you for clicking on the video. All of our horses are just in for morning feeding on an absolutely gorgeous July day. Everyone looked good coming in. I didn't see any limping or any of the sort. So we are so happy to see that all of our horses are good. We don't have any problem in the barn at all. Everybody is in good working order, like Gavin. Right, Gavin? Yeah, couldn't agree more. Or Declan. Or even Danny. Coming over to say hi, Danny. Hello. What's up, beautiful? We're gonna let all these guys enjoy their breakfast before we get started on daily care. You and I are gonna be hopping on the tractor and heading on down. We have 6 round bales that were from second cutting from that first time that we kind of basically went over everything and it was just nothing there. We're gonna be looking at all of those. I might be putting out 1 bale today, but the other 5 we kind of need to move. We're not taking them out of the blue barn, which is where they're currently stored, which is not our barn. It is a equipment storage for the veggie boys. And that's why I'm gonna move them, because they're kind of where the round baler sits. The round baler is out right now because, as you saw in the most recent video, we're gonna be getting ready to round bale tomorrow. But once that's done, it's gonna start raining and we don't leave the balers out when it rains. We put them immediately back inside the shed. So those bales will need to find a new home. I don't think we'll be doing any more small square baling. So let's go take a look and see what we got going on. A lot of sows there, a lot of thinking. We are here inside the blue barn. So this is the equipment storage for the veggie boys. Aside from the cow barn, this is the only other barn that we have to store equipment in. Kind of crazy, I know, but we really are short on equipment storage. The answer lies in the geography. If you take a look around, you notice there really isn't a single spot of flat land anywhere. Everything that you see that's flat is man-made, which of course means that there's cost. Either you need to be really good at leveling out the ground, or you need to hire somebody, which is costly, to come in and level out the ground. The barn that I am in, interestingly enough, was originally built and designed to be the horse stable. Our horse stable. Yeah, I know, you're going back quite a bit ways, but this barn was built and this was going to be where the main horse stable was. Of course, right out here where the cow pasture is, was originally going to be horse pasture, but all of that changed. This barn was then sold to the veggie boys. Veggie boys bought it. Of course, my Uncle Brian bought it, and he now uses it for equipment storage. And that's it, that's all it's used for. And then the cows have complete access down to this area as pasture for themselves. And we are over on the other side. Which, granted, there are some things that are really nice about this building, like it's straight in and out, which is how most horse stables are designed, which is nice for, you know, manure removal. You just go straight in and out. There's no L in the middle of the barn, causing a problem for wagons getting through. Don't get me wrong, this would have made a pretty nice horse stable, but I think it would have also limited us in how far we could grow. So it really was a blessing in disguise that we're over where we are now, and I love what we have made with that stable. I'm very proud of that. Just a little random history fact for you. What we got in here is the small square baler, the silage harvester, a windrower, this is what they use to dig their potatoes, and the bale wrapper. Hey, we'll be using that here soon too. And here's our 6 round bales. Now these, look how good they look. You know why they look so good? Because they're in shelter. This is how we're gonna be storing the bales in the hay barn. They're gonna be stacked on end, not on their side. We're not gonna be putting them flush on the ground though, because the ground sucks in moisture. So they will be on a pallet. That way there's air that can go underneath all of them. That will be more work when it comes to loading and unloading the barn, because you'll have to grab a pallet, take a pallet out, all that kind of stuff. But I think it's worth it because you won't have spoilage on the bottom. And then in our new hay barn, you can see in this barn, they didn't fit doing too high. So I did one and then kind of like a mushroom, one on its end, one on its side. The new hay barn will be able to stack not only 2, but double that, 4, going all the way up, because it's gonna be 16 feet high, and each of these bales are 4 feet wide. They're 4x5 bales. So they are 5 feet across and they are 4 feet wide, interestingly enough. So I think we're gonna grab this one and feed that one. The other 5, we're gonna stack over here in front of the small square baler. Reason being, no more small square bales are being baled this year, to my knowledge anyway. This won't be used for a couple months yet. This won't be used for a couple months yet. This whole area over here is where all of the hay equipment is stored. The disc bind, the tedder, the windrower, the round baler. All of those things are either out or being used. and the round baler is going to get put back in front of it. There we go. That's our 5. In case you're curious, this is the biggest size that our round baler makes. This is a 5x5 bale. Absolutely huge. Granted, it holds way more hay than those, but look at just the size comparison. Nuts, right? Now, these are second cutting, which means that they are a bit tougher to get dense. And I baled them, which means, you know, I'm not that experienced. This was only my second time round baling ever. Tomorrow will be my 3rd time round baling ever. So you guys are awesome. I notice every time I round bale, I always see some nice constructive tips that are in the comment section for different ideas. So I know about the whole driving left and right, kind of like swaying back and forth across the rows, almost like you're on your phone kind of thing, but don't be on your phone kind of thing. So that way it maximizes the density on the left and on the right side of the bale. You can see this one actually came out really good. That came out really good. And when you're doing your second and your third cutting, it's a lot more important for that because it's not as thick of a material. On first cutting, the windrows are so big, it's actually more of a problem of worrying about jamming the baler, clogging the baler up, the feed roll, so, which was something that happened a lot when we were doing our first cutting at our hay farm. But anyway, that'll be how they're stacked. You can imagine kind of like this right here, only double. So you got 1, 2, and then there'll be 3 and then 4 on top of that, which is just mind-bogglingly impressive, I think, that we'll have a building that big for the hay. Anyway, we have a lot to do today, so I'm gonna stop blabbling and get back to work. Ah, man, that is gonna be some good Timothy, let me tell you. I'm excited about that. Got that field there, that field there, that field there. And it's my understanding next year we're even getting that field down there too. And then there's a field down over there yet. Woo! I love it. As for our hay, look at it. It's got that good, dry hay look to it. Nothing tedded, but I mean, after feeling the thickest field that we had, and I had only mowed it a few hours and it was already dry, I figure most of this stuff is gonna be pretty dry because it just isn't raining. It's basically dry as I mowed it. There's only one way to find out though, right? I'm gonna stop here because this is my first line for raking. And I gotta take my phone out of my pocket. Didn't charge last night, so that's running on fumes. Now I'm 100% confident that this stuff, I mean, it looks like I just mowed grass here. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Yep, that's what I needed. That is what I needed. All right, guys, let's get hit it. Let's get hit it. Let's hit it. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Messing with my windrows. These little dust devils keep forming around and it's knocking the windrows over. I'm gonna try to catch one on camera because since that started there's 3 of them. You can see right here where it knocked one over and over there where it knocked one over. And then up there it completely destroyed one. Doesn't even look like a rake did. They were out there with that dinosaur costume dancing and everything. It was absolutely hilarious. I was so shocked, I didn't even think about getting a camera because I was just like, what on earth am I seeing? I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank one of our viewers, sent me some electrolytes, the Drip Drop brand. Never heard of them before. The only brand that I've used is Liquid IV. Personally quite fond of them. They do a great job. Not bad today. It's in the 80s. Nothing crazy. Nice actually. Good July weather. I'm gonna try the orange flavor from Drip Drop. See what we got. Kind of feels like this is a sponsor, but no. I will tell you if this tastes awful. Very subtle orange flavor. Nothing too crazy. Kind of like it. It's not as strong as Liquid IV. Pretty good. Thank you. I think I got one other pack on me. What'll I try there? The lemon flavor. But that won't be till evening time. I don't like taking too many of these things. Hey guys, we got 2 bumpiest fields taken care of on the lower section here. That means that we now have 3 fields taken care of. We're on our way. There's a field up by the road, and there's a field way back there for the tree line. 2 left to this farm, and then we're gonna be heading on over to the next farm. We've got 3 more farms after this one. Perfect. Another one down. All right, let's head on right over to the other side of that tree line.
All right, everyone. Joel sent the camera with me, so I'm raking hay now. Just finished this farm. We're heading off to the next one. All right. Sorry I haven't been filming too much, but here we are. I finished this farm. Now we're heading off to the last farm, and I'll film that. Alright, well, this farm, we only got 1 windrow off this farm. But I'll fold it up, go to the last farm. Last 3 fields. Got the rake unhooked. I guess we're done for the night. Nice sunset. Pretty tractor, pretty rake.
Y'all done?
Yes, I am.
Well, I think it's time to conclude the video then, isn't it?
I think so.
All right, guys, I am back from my meeting. Pete did an amazing job raking hay. Everything's done and ready for us to get started round baling tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good stuff. What's your guesstimate for bales?
Total?
Total. Because you saw what I raked, and then you also raked the rest of it, so.
40.
40? 40? I'm gonna say 25. But 40? Woo! That'll be a crazy day if that's the case.
How many bales is equivalent to 1 round bale, and where does the large bales figure into this?
That is indeed a good question. So we actually had to weigh everything out. Our small square bales are about 35 pounds is what we bale and what we do for hay. The larger round bales, now this is a 52-inch sized bale, so it's a 4x5 round bale, are between 600 and 800 pounds depending on the crop. It averages out to being about 23 small square bales per round bale. But when the hay barn is built, there is a chance that we're going to be going up to a full 60-inch round bale or a 5x5 bale. And when we do that, we will have to re-measure everything to get the new calculation for how many small square bales are in a bale. But right now, it is 23 for our small square baler and our round baler. It does change depending on what farm you're at.
Thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't, hit that like button.
And consider subscribing. As always, we'll see you in the next one.